Good evening, everybody. I'd like to call this hearing to order on Tuesday, April 25th, 2023 at 6 p.m. For you folks that are in attendance, make sure you signed in the back. This meeting is being recorded. If you're going to come up to speak, state your name and address, and it's being recorded, and the stenographer is taking the notes. If anybody is going to give any testimony on a case, I'd like to have you stand to be sworn in. Is anybody going to speak this evening? Please stand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, thank you. We have two cases this evening. The first one is Mobile Realty 12 LLC owner Jack Clark and Jim Keller's agents on a variance request regarding setbacks on Route 97 Perry Highway, and a variance request regarding setbacks between mobile homes. The second case is U.S. Bulk Transport, and it is requesting a variance regarding front yard setbacks in an MUR, mixed use regional, and a variance request regarding minimum clear span for a permanent sign structure in an MUR, mixed use regional district. We do have somebody on Zoom this evening. I don't know if they're going to...
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm here. Okay. I'm here representing Mobile Realty 12. And would you like me to repeat the case here on the variance?
First off, let me just interrupt you. We have just some business to take care of. I need approval for the minutes of the 3/28 reorganization and regular business meeting that took place a month ago. Have a motion?
I move we accept.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, would you state your name and address again?
Yes, my name is Herb Fisher. My corporate address is 1768 Oregon Pike, Lancaster, PA 17601.
Thank you, Herb. Do you want to state your requests for the board?
Yes, be happy to. Yes, representing Mobile Realty 12 LLC, 8461 Prairie Highway, Erie, Pennsylvania 16509. Parcel D number 40-014-088, period, 0-001, period, 01, comma, CL commercial, local, in parentheses, MUR, mixed use regional. The first variance is 313.01 A in parentheses regarding setbacks on Route 97 Prairie Highway. Variance number 2 is Article 8, Section 803.8, 4 in parentheses regarding setbacks between mobile homes.
Okay, could you, state your plan on what you plan to do? We got to start over from the beginning on this as a new hearing. So if you would, state exactly what you want to do regarding your setbacks, how you plan to do it, and I believe the board will have questions for you regarding that.
Okay, all right. We purchased the park back in 2001. The whole purpose of taking this park and over a period of time upgrading it, and the necessity that goes with upgrading a park is bringing in new mobile homes. And so we are requesting some changes in the setback off of Route 97. We want to put 2 mobile homes end to end, and the requirement off of the center of the road is 125 feet. We're asking to reduce that to 90 feet. The second request is that sign ordinance requires the same thing, and so we're asking you to take it from 125 feet to 65 feet for the setback sign. And I think you do have a plan there that shows that. And I did make a slight error. It's 90 feet instead of 95 feet. So it's 65 for the sign, 90 feet for the two mobile homes that are side by side.
Just a correction, Mr. Fisher, you said you bought it in 2001. I think that we're showing 2021. Is that correct?
Yeah, 2021.
Okay, I just want to make sure we had.
Did I say one?
You did.
Yeah, that's wrong.
Okay.
You want to ask questions on that? You want to go into the second?
On that one, the two display units, they will have only electric for utility?
Yes. Yeah, we're not going to hook the heat, the air conditioning and that up, or the sewer and water. This will strictly be electric so that we can turn the light on.
Okay.
And these will be displayed for customers to potentially look at these to buy mobile homes, I take it?
That is correct. That is correct.
Thank you.
Will they be purchasing one of these or a similar one, and these are truly just displays, or are they for sale?
Yeah, the homes will be about the size that we would place within the park. In fact, those two, we did already purchase two based on our last meeting. And so we have purchased two, and those homes, when they're sold, will be put into the park, or if somebody wants a little different one, then we would buy another home and place it in the park. But these two are basically model homes that we will use to show potential buyers.
Okay.
And if this variance was given, these homes would never be turned to a permanent residence. They would be display models for sale only.
On the site, yes.
Okay.
But we could move, yeah, on the site, exactly. We will not create a new mobile home site.
Okay.
But if somebody says, I don't want to wait the 2 months to get a home, or the 6 weeks to get a home, we would move that into the park and bring another park model out to replace it.
Okay, understood. Thank you. Okay. Anybody in attendance here that has a question about this variance request?
Size of the display.
Ma'am, what is your name?
Oh, I'm sorry.
We have to sign. We have to swear you in.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
And you have to come forward here to speak and state your name and address, but raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the complete truth, the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you.
Rose, CHLUDZINSKF, 55 Cherry Lane, Erie, 16711. Quick.
Let's get you closer to your.
No, walk around and talk into the mic.
Oh, this way, okay.
There you go.
This
You
is
pull
all
it down a little bit. There you are.
I just had a couple questions. What size are the mobile homes on display?
Could you answer that question, Herb?
What size are these units?
They're 16 feet wide, and I think that they're both around 60 feet, 62 feet, something like that.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Not on this, no.
Okay.
My name is Stephanie Harps, 78 Pinewood Lane, 16509. My question is, are there any other plans that have to be approved before these display homes are put in? Because we're already at the bottom of the landfill, soil erosion is very real. The lack of maintenance over the years of the park has been a huge issue, and my concern is, I mean, mobile homes aren't light. Dating back to 2008, you can look on Google photos and see that there was a place to park on 97 just less than 10 years ago, and that has completely eroded away to where now that's not available. So with these mobile homes going in, whether display or not, should there not be more implementation of planning rather than just approving display trailers to go in? I mean, as residents of the park, we feel that there are several bigger issues at hand before. I mean, we're not opposed to the, I mean, this is advertising. It's to make the park bigger. We get that. But should the issues at hand not be addressed before we go advertising to put more trailers in where things aren't safe as they are?
Maybe I could have her explain, could you just kind of give us a brief synopsis on the purchase of the property and then what you plan to do with the property, and just kind of a look-see and to speak to that? You know, what your future plans are for the park completely.
I'm sorry, something happened. I couldn't hear a word you said.
Could you hear what what's your first name is?
Stephanie.
Stephanie, did you hear what she said at all?
Hold a minute here.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, and your question was?
The question is, Stephanie had asked that there seems to be other issues in the park regarding some parking and things that have been done, erosion and that type of thing. Could you give a brief explanation to the board and to her on what your future plans are and what you see the park turning into after your purchase and what you plan to do?
Well, I can tell you right now that our goal and where we're headed is that that park has to be upgraded in a lot of different ways. And I think that part of it, going back, and I assume that the lady that just spoke is a tenant in the park,
Correct.
is that we obviously need cooperation with the tenants that currently live there. And it's very difficult to change housekeeping in mobile home parks because the tenants have to take a part in it too, and that means they need to keep their properties good looking and lacking of trash and all kinds of things that plague mobile home parks. And so the best way to start that is to start bringing in new homes so that the people coming in can appreciate the fact that they've got a new home and set a precedent. And that's what we work with, because no one can make a lease so tight where you don't allow the things that go on in mobile home parks, and even this in here. So our goal is to upgrade this park, and this is a beginning of it.
Would that include the streets and the streets that service that area?
Absolutely, the streets. Now, you can't asphalt streets until you start putting more mobile homes in, because when you bring them in and set them up, they do rip up new streets. So we are going to patch the holes and those areas that need patching. In fact, we already signed a contract to start that happening as soon as the rain slows down and we get some dry weather. That's going to be one of the things we do. But you can't overlay if your intent is to bring 10, 15, 20 homes into the park.
Okay. Thanks for that information.
With new mobile homes being added to the park, what about the blighted homes that are there? That was not discussed in planning. There are several mobile homes in the park that have been vacant since well before I've been there, that have gone completely unaddressed. We've had several evictions that have taken place over the last few months, several of which still have utilities on. We have less than stellar maintenance. I mean, and I'm not downing the maintenance gentleman we do have, because he does maintain 5 other parks in the area. However, with that negligence, our park has completely been ran into the ground. We aren't contesting the advertisement and the growth of the park. However, we are contesting the avenues at which we're going about doing so. We can't add new mobile homes to a park when we have 15 blighted properties there that have went unaddressed completely. We actually, as of today, this is a legal non-conforming park. So with that being said, a lot of the things in the park are not up to township ordinances regarding one of the dead-end roads that we have. 10% of the acreage is supposed to be for a playground. Our kids have 2 slides to play on. They can't play in the grass because it is a muddy mess every single time it rains. And when I say it's a muddy mess for weeks. Today, the property manager went around and put private property signs in front of every vacant lot, which is where the kids play. So now they can't play there. They can't play at the park because the park is not in any condition to be played at, nor is it maintained properly. We have blighted properties. I don't feel like this is the proper avenue to go about. I mean, they bought the place in August of 2021. There's been plenty of time to implement a correction plan, but there's no correction plan being had. The only plans that we have are to grow the park rather than to fix the scenario that we have lived in for years and years.
Thanks for your input.
Thank you.
I believe that Herb could address that, or this variance really only regards the setting of 2 homes that they want to display there. So it'd be up to Herb whether you want to address the concern or you want to move on to your second variance, or...
Well, first of all, last year, just in the parks that we own in the Erie and surrounding areas, we actually tore down over 25 homes. You cannot tear down a home when you're still trying to find out who owns it, because we can get in a lot of trouble just going and bulldozing somebody's home when we can't get title to it, and we can't get permission to do away with it. And I can tell you that our office is working on that.
Okay. Would you care to move on to the other variance request?
Yes, I'd be happy to.
Okay.
Variance request to Article 8, Section 803.8, 4 in parentheses regarding setbacks between mobile homes. Back in 10, 15, 20 years ago, we were still doing mobile homes, maybe not very many of them at 10 feet wide, but certainly 12 feet wide. And what's happened over the last 20 years is that the mobile homes width have gone from 10 feet wide to 16 feet wide. And today, if you were to buy 14 foot wide, they charge you extra money because the plans are set up for 16 foot wide. So what we're asking for is a reduction of 5 feet so that we can still match up all the sewer, the water, electricity. And each site has one out there, whether it's occupied or not. It does have those utilities available. And if we don't line those up, we would have to rip up everything and either extend or cut back on the sewer, water, and electric service, which is a huge, huge cost to begin with, and a disadvantage in trying to move forward with whatever we can do with this park. So all we're asking is to reduce that, because the size has gone from 10 feet to 16 feet, and so this would be from the farthest point of the home. For instance, if there was a deck and or a set of stairs, we would still keep the distance of 15 feet, I think, instead of 20 feet.
That's wall to wall, right?
Yeah.
Now, is this in general for the park itself or just for these display trailers?
No, this is inside.
The question was, is this
It
for...
would be for the vacant spaces that we're going to put in. We've only asked for the vacant spaces at this point because the other homes are there. But however, if we did crush or bulldoze one of those homes, we would have the same issue. So I guess the way I worded it would be for the park itself.
That would be,
Because over time, we know that the park will be upgraded. Folks who want to buy a new home or a newer home. So I think the way we worded it is not just for the vacant spaces, but for the whole park.
that's understood by the board. In this, this request and dropping the 5 feet, we still meet the fire code regulations for the park and all that, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Question. Is
Just-
it 5 feet on each side,
I'm sorry, ma'am, what was your name again?
Rose?
Yeah, please come up and talk where we can hear you.
Another question, Herb.
Oh, okay, I couldn't hear.
Yeah, I wasn't up to the mic yet. Is that 5 feet on each side?
They're reducing it from 15 to 10, I believe it is, Rose, on either side.
So that's 5 feet on each side,
No,
right?
it's 10 on each side.
That's correct.
No, it's say my home's the bottom one,
Yeah.
okay? And he's saying it's 15 feet.
That's what the proposal is.
Right.
Yeah, because
So
it's
you're-
under structure.
You're shortening the space by 5 feet, is it?
Correct.
Yes,
So the trailer, the third trailer on top of that one, there's gotta be 5 feet shorter on that side.
Right.
So technically it's 10 feet.
No,
No.
no, it's
no,
5
that's
feet.
not correct.
It's 5
No,
feet.
this would be 5 feet from the ordinance, 5 feet on each side, so that each home, if you had a stack of 10 homes, they would all have the same distance between each home.
15 feet in between each home.
Where it's currently.
Instead of 20, it would be 15.
Correct.
Okay.
They're doing this.
When did
Yeah,
the ordinance,
Here's, that's the issue. Okay.
And actually, the homes, between the homes, would be farther. And it's only between, so we're going between the outside part of the deck or the stairs, and so the homes would be further apart than 15 feet.
Okay, because okay, you count the deck and the steps as 3
they
feet.
don't
Okay.
have to though, because you
Yeah.
can't talk at the same time, I'm sorry.
Okay. That answers the question, thank you.
My question is, how long has this ordinance been in effect for the setbacks?
For the, between the trailers?
Yes. When did that ordinance become, I mean, 68-ish or 66 was the enactment of the entire ordinance itself. I'm just not understanding why, I mean, the basis of this ordinance variation is the utilities. If this ordinance was in effect when these trailers went in, I'm not understanding why we need a variance.
I believe because the width of the trailer increases, and so the utilities may not line up with that, so the extra space is there to adjust it so that they don't have to.
Would that not be on a case-to-case basis, though?
It may be cookie cutter, I'm not.
Yeah, whenever they put a new one in, I mean, it's gonna be a difference.
Right, a different width, right, but I mean,
And the goal of what Mr. Fisher is indicating is that they want to continue to grow the park. So if they grow the park,
which is understood,
so if they continue to grow the park, they're gonna need the extra space.
which then decreases the amount of plots that are currently there for the park as a whole, correct? I mean, the park as a whole currently is zoned for, I think it's 122 plots. If we are adding variances to the ordinances, we add wider trailers, does that mean that we no longer have enough room for 122
No,
plots?
they're just closer.
They're just closer, yeah.
So we're going to sardine these trailers in, but still keep 122 plots, is basically what we're saying here.
Say that again, please.
That with the 122 plots, in order, if he planned to fill the entire park, we're just going to squish the trailers closer together rather than reduce the number of plots available.
Yeah, because you're putting less distance between them.
Yes.
Wouldn't it be smarter to reduce the amount of plots, so,
But again, that's not really what we're talking about tonight. I mean, this is, what you're talking about, I believe, is something you're gonna need to talk with the owners about.
we've tried, there's no one that's available, they're based out of
You have
Lancaster.
somebody available right here.
Okay, so, I mean, I guess that's what we're asking,
But
is,
the point is that they have to move utilities, keep this space, costs a fortune.
right, it costs way more, that's completely understandable, but I'm just not, I guess, grasping the concept of moving trailers closer together, thus taking away the current residents' space
The
just
homes are
for-
wider than they were in 68 up through,
Right,
so
but
that's-
most of the trailers that are currently there are not newer models, is what I'm saying. So we'll have a 14-foot wide trailer here with a 18-foot wide trailer here. We both have a 15-foot yard, but this street was zoned for 22 trailers. Now with the difference in width, we're still trying to fit 22 trailers on one road. That's what I'm saying. That seems a little absurd.
Just by moving them closer.
I
Thank you.
appreciate your input. Anybody else want to give any testimony? Okay, or if you don't, maybe want to move to the variance on the clear span on the sign.
The approving the variance on the sign includes the 10-foot clearance under it, which is according to, Article 8. So that is included with approving the variance. It has to have a 10-foot clear span. That's what
You're
we
talking about the sign.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're gonna we keep 10 feet from the ground to the bottom of the sign.
correct.
Okay,
I will, there's nothing else?
I don't believe there's any other questions. At this time, do I get a motion from the board regarding the front yard setbacks?
I will move that we approve that for the trailers.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And for a motion for the variance on regarding the clear span on the sign?
So made.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Variance request is good.
Thank you very much.
Distance between the
Yeah,
trailers.
distance between the trailers.
Yeah, I will move that we approve that.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Yeah. So, okay. Appreciate your time, Herb. You have your variances?
Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome.
Recording stopped.
Okay, next up we have U.S. Bulk Transport on their case. Please come forward. Good evening. Good evening.
My name is Chris Cavallo, representing U.S. Bulk Transport, 205 Pembroke Drive, Erie, Pennsylvania, 16509. Parcel ID number 40-012-046.001.05 for mixed use regional. Variance request to table 313.01 regarding front yard setbacks in the mixed use regional district. Variance request to Article 8, Section 807G, regarding required minimum clear span for a permanent sign structure in the mixed-use regional district. Excuse me. We are requesting a 43-foot variance to replace our existing sign with a new, modern sign, something a little more, I guess, aesthetically pleasing. The reasons we're asking first, there's no possible other location for this sign. You know, we have nowhere else to put a sign, just where our sign exists today. That sign has been in place for decades, and it really does not reflect our current image. The proposed sign will be designed using neutral colors. We plan on using some brick landscape around the base of it. That's the existing sign. That's our proposed sign. I did attach photos. I just brought these in, which you don't have. Do you want these photos? We just did a quick kind of before and after of what it could look like. So this. Those last photos I just submitted just gives a quick indication of what it could look like with the new sign in place. We do feel it creates better visibility for the traffic on Penbriar. It also creates better visibility of the surrounding businesses. It does not create any visual barriers for traffic entering or exiting our property or neighboring properties. That's it.
Is your request to replace this sign with the monument sign in the exact position where the older sign is?
No, we actually want to move our new sign back closer to the building just a little bit.
Closer to the building?
Closer to the building.
Not closer to the road?
Not closer to the road.
Okay.
There's a electric pole on the, if you look at our existing sign, there's 2 poles. And the pole closest to the building has power. So we were going to center the new sign on top of that. We don't have public traffic in and out.
I guess in the variance, what hinders him from coming to moving the sign closer to his building other than instead of being a pole sign, it's a monument sign? That's my question.
Yeah, it says here, 50 feet. Now, what is that from? Is that from center line? Is that from the edge of the road?
I believe it's because the existing sign is illegal non-conforming.
No. What I'm asking here on the, okay, all signs, 50 feet from where? I think this says.
That's what I thought.
That one's not listed here, so it's 50 feet from the front right-of-way line.
Which is, excuse me one minute here, which is this?
Correct. I can actually pull up the map.
You have to excuse us, we're a little confused on.
I know, you'd think we'd want to go the opposite direction, right?
Right. Yeah, correct. That's
No,
what
we want something very aesthetically pleasing for the neighborhood. That's what we're trying to accomplish, and for us.
We understand, but
Yeah,
you have to be 50 feet back
okay.
from the right of way.
I don't think you're, okay.
Hold on. And you're saying we want a 43-foot variance, which is your 7 foot back from the road, and that's really not what you're asking for that I can tell.
So they came out and they, somebody from Summit Township, they came out, they measured everything, and they told us this is what we need to ask for. I said, okay. We showed them exactly where we want to put the new sign, which is basically just offset a little bit closer to our building.
Okay. I mean, you can't go much further. You got like, what, 2 feet there maybe?
Yeah, we're actually on the sidewalk. If we go yeah, from where we want to go, we'd be on the sidewalk.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're going back, so how far is that from the road? I think that's the question.
Yeah.
How far is what the?
How far is the proposed sign be from the road? I mean, where you have it today is how far?
Oh, I don't think we took that measurement.
feet, okay. 6 feet. So, Deb, 50 feet from the center?
Actually, this is from the
50 feet from the right-of-way line.
right-of-way.
Right-of-way line, okay, so if he's coming back 43 feet, he's getting a 7-foot variance, is what it sounds like it's just a foot. Does that sound right?
I think you're correct.
It's going through the sign.
That's where the sign's gonna be.
So this sign was a legal non-conforming use as it's built.
Since today.
So we're looking for a variance to move it back.
63.
So if they're changing it from the pole sign to a monument sign, and if you look here, the right-of-way sign, technically it would have to come back 50 feet. And which would put it inside the building. So what they need is that variance in order to be able to move it.
Oh, okay, that makes sense now. Okay, that
wasn't
wasn't before,
written.
yeah, I was thinking right away up on the road there, but apparently that's not the case, so, okay.
Facilities have to be 50 feet back from the right of way, the building is there.
Yeah.
So his hardship is he wants to replace the sign
Right.
With the monument sign, but it would be closer to the building than it is now.
Right.
And it's a completely different sign.
And do you, can you get a measurement from there to the road?
Compared to the road?
Yeah.
You want to do it here?
Take it out to the white line, the second white line. No, back.
Wait, keep going back.
Right there. 30 feet, so.
It's 30 feet, and the new one, if I may, will be even further back over here.
The existing sign is, but closer to the sidewalk. Like, we're gonna start it right almost off the edge of the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And also it does state any permanent sign structure in front of the building setback height shall have a minimum of a 10 feet clear span. So they would have to get.
And that's what to me, we're looking at the clear span as the variance for the monument sign. And we have a legal non-conforming use with the sign now, wants to take it back closer to the building, which improves the sight line that would be there. Okay,
Yep.
are we clear?
Yes,
Okay.
sorry for the confusion.
No, that's good, this is why we're here.
I guess the only thing, so can we quantify what the variance distance is going to be? We don't necessarily have that.
Well, if you do, what's the distance between, you got 63 feet.
What are you looking for?
Can you come 50, well, I guess you.
Yeah, go back
It's
50. No, okay, that's from the right-of-way, right? That yellow?
Yes. Okay, so
First 50 feet right there, right? Close enough. Now, if he puts the new sign against the sidewalk, did you say?
Yeah.
Okay. What's that distance?
One, so you got 32. So 32 foot, or 30 foot variance.
Well, the sign goes there forward by how that's,
Yeah, it goes front, okay.
It is a total
Oh,
of 9 feet.
So 39. Okay, well, the 43 foot variance wouldn't probably get close.
I think today's point, you want to come up with something for the record that is where the sign's going to be, or how can we word that?
Yeah, I think if the board's gonna grant a variance, we need to be able to quantify what that is.
Make sure we know what it is.
So we know whether you're complying and, so.
Yeah, Deb, can you please, is there a way of getting the 50-foot line here somewhere?
This area?
Wherever 50 feet is. That's 56. Okay. Now they're gonna start here and go 9 foot forward, okay, with the sign.
You give them a foot or so on the side.
Huh?
Is the sign 9 foot?
Yeah.
Well, but it also needs to be in the location of that rear pole, because that's where they're getting power from.
Right.
I'm just looking for the distance this way, which is the variance.
I'm wondering if someone had looked at that and if the 43 feet actually was
Or they need to be.
representing what they.
These lines are an estimate. Kemp and Tammy actually went out and measured to get the measurements that we got.
Yes, yes, thank you.
As we're talking, I'm just.
So this number might be correct.
Is the right number?
Is it right now?
Yeah, Kip, yeah, I couldn't think of Kip saying that. Kip and Tammy came with the
Yeah,
measure.
we can note that would be no closer to the road right away than the current sign actually.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, I don't believe we have any more questions. We have nobody here to give any other testimony, so at this point, do I have a motion from the board on this variance request?
I'd like to make a motion to accept the variance request and to stipulate that the new sign should be no closer to the road than the current sign. And making sure that that's adhered to.
Thank you.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go off the record, this meeting is, this hearing's adjourned.
We are adjourned.